What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 10, Episode 18, Happily Ever Afters. Now, before we get into this week's episode, I just wanted to talk really quick about a 90 Day Fiance the other way couple, Nicole and Mahmoud. I think they're on the most recent season of 90 Day Fiance the other way. And this is the couple where Nicole, who was from California, wanted to move to Egypt to live with her husband Mahmoud. And their relationship was extremely tumultuous. It was one of the most toxic relationships I've ever seen on 90 Day Fiance. They argued morning, noon, and night. And they argued about every little thing. They argued about whether or not the sky was blue that day. They argued about everything. And one of their biggest issues was him wanting her to be more traditional because she converted to Islam. They got married in an Islamic ceremony in Egypt, and he wanted her to be more traditional. They argued about what she wore. She wanted to still wear her own style and do her own thing as far as wardrobe. He wanted her to be extremely traditional. There was even an incident with them where this is just a sign of the abuse that was going on between them. They were having some really intense argument outside and in the middle of the street or something, or on the sidewalk. Cars were zooming by and she was walking away from him, and he didn't want her to walk away. So because she wasn't going to stop and talk to him, he forcefully grabbed her arm to physically stop her from walking away. This relationship was extremely, extremely toxic. So he recently got arrested for domestic violence, the victim being his wife, Nicole. And from what I read on, I think I read two articles. One was People magazine or people.com, and the other one was Us Weekly, and they talked about the incident, how he got arrested for domestic violence. I don't know exactly what he did. I don't think there was any details of exactly what he did to Nicole, but something happened. He got arrested. That was the charge, and they're supposed to be featured in the upcoming 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. But depending on how this court case goes, I think if he's going to plead guilty or get convicted of domestic violence, I think they're going to delete all of their scenes, according to what I read in the articles. If they get dropped or dismissed, they may still feature them. I'm not quite sure. So I'm just surprised that Nicole and Mahmoud are even still together, because that relationship was heavily toxic. They argued constantly, but then I don't know, maybe they're just that couple that thrives on stuff like that. They thrive on fighting with each other. I have no idea, but that relationship was horrible. One of the worst that I've ever seen on 90 Day Fiance. So I just wanted to give that really quick update. Now let's get into this week's episode, and we're going to start off with Nikki and Igor. So when we see Nikki, she's back in the United States, and she is about to do her confessional, and she's in tears. She's so emotionally distraught that the producers ask her, does she even want to continue with the interview, or does she just want to go home? And she said that she did want to continue because she wanted to give her side of the story. So we find out that her and Igor had gotten into a really bad fight, really bad argument. His car had broken down. I guess he called her, hitting her up for money, and she accused him of using her for money. And this led to them arguing. She said that she said some things that she kind of now regrets saying to him. I don't know exactly what she said to him, but whatever it is, it was the last straw for him. So they didn't talk for quite a while, and then he sent her a text basically breaking up with her, telling her that it's just not going to work out, and he wants to break up, and he wants them to go their separate ways. Okay, let's pause right there. So Nikki, up until this point, talks about how she felt like he had been using her for money because he doesn't work, and she's been, I guess, his main caretaker, his main supporter, financial supporter. So she's constantly has been giving him money, funding his lifestyle, and she got sick of it. And so I don't know if she had given him the money to fix the car, or if she didn't give him the money to fix the car. I don't know exactly what led to the argument. Maybe it was her accusing him of using her for money, but that alone, I don't understand how she would want to stay in a relationship with someone who did not support or could not support themselves. I don't know how she stuck it out as long as she did. Even though they had like a huge break in their relationship, when she got back with him and she knew what it was, that this man is just really after you for money, I'm surprised that she stuck around as long as she did. So he breaks up with her through text after they got into this really bad argument. And you know how Nikki is, Nikki can say some hurtful things. And we saw that on the show, that she can really hit below the belt. And then after she says these hurtful things, she wants to be forgiven and she just wants to blame it on, I was just having like a momentary lapse in judgment, or just having this emotional outburst, please forgive me and let's move on. But this time Igor did not want to move on. So in the text message that he had sent her, the breakup text message, she read part of it, and a couple of things kind of surprised me. So one of the things that he said was that he had compromised and sacrificed his own interest, shocking his parents and everyone around him. That part right there, shocking his parents and everyone around him, threw me for a loop, because I thought that his family, his parents, and his friends totally accepted her, and they were cool with her being a trans woman. And the father, his stepfather, really didn't say much in the scenes that we saw the parents, but the mother seemed to be very welcoming and very like loving towards Nikki. She gave her a farewell gift when Nikki left Moldova. When Nikki went to go visit them at their home, the mother was extremely welcoming and gracious. She acted like she really loved Nikki. So I'm surprised that he's claiming that, his parents were shocked about this relationship. Maybe the mother was shocked in the very, very beginning when they had met 17 years ago. And when they broke up, after Igor found out that Nikki was trans, maybe the mom was shocked about that at that time. But the second go around, when they got back together and she went to Moldova, I didn't think that the mother had any issues with her being trans. But he said that, his parents were shocked about this whole relationship and everyone else around him. So she texted him back, begging him to work it out, apologizing to him for whatever she said that pissed him off, wanting to work things out, and he never did respond. And I'm surprised that I'm surprised that Nikki's surprised that he broke up with her. Girl, the man was using you for money. Okay. This was just a business transaction. There's no way in hell, Nikki, that you would have thought that this was a real relation, that you could have thought that this was a real romantic relationship. The man did not want to the man did not and could not have sex with you. He needed to have a natural born woman in the bedroom, to help him, perform his duties. Talking about having a threesome, that right there is extremely disrespectful. Nikki might be, very open-minded about, a lot of things regarding sex and, willing to do a lot of stuff, but I don't think she was really cool with having a third party in the bedroom with them, especially if that third party was being used just to help him, get going. So him wanting to have a third party in the bedroom, that was extremely disrespectful. Just the fact that he could not or would not have sex with her, that right there should have told her that this is not the man for you. And the fact that he was constantly using her for money, that he didn't have any visible means of supporting himself. He was completely supporting himself with her money. That right there should have told her that this is not it for you. But she wanted to ignore all of the red flags because of the fact that he was a cisgendered or heterosexual male who was interested in her. And I think that to her, that validated her as a woman, because she had a heterosexual man interested in her, attracted to her, I guess wanting to be in a relationship with her, whatever that looks like to Igor. So because the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, Nikki, you could be with a man that will love you, as you are, and will not need a third party to help him, get going with you, and who would be turned on by you and would not use you for your money and would take care of you, would want to take care of you instead of you taking care of them. But I don't think she wants a man that wants a trans woman. I think she wants a man that wants like a heterosexual woman or a real woman. Not to say that she's not a real woman, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what's politically correct anymore. So I'm fumbling here with my words. But she wants a man that doesn't see her as trans. She wants a man that sees her as a genetically born woman and, accepts her for that. That's what I'm thinking, that because you could be with a man that doesn't have an issue with you being trans. who's not struggling with the fact that you're a trans woman. You can be with a very like a manly man that wants a trans woman, but I don't think she wants that. For whatever reason, she's stuck on Igor, who is extremely disrespect to me. He's very disrespectful to her. Like I said, how are you going to bring up to your woman that you want a threesome and that you have to have a third party in y'all's relationship or in y'all's bedroom at all times? Anyway, so her mom comes over. She's in the bed, laid up like Wendy Williams, completely, doesn't want to get up and do anything, depressed, all of that. And her mom is trying to get her motivated, trying to get her out of the bed. Then Nikki mentions to us that she spoke with her immigration lawyer and told the immigration lawyer about the breakup. And she said that her lawyer told her to keep the visa open because people might change their mind. And you don't want to have to start this process all over again from square one if you happen to reconcile. And I'm really upset. If the lawyer really told her that, which I have no idea if that's what the lawyer said to her, but that's what she's conveying to us. But if the lawyer really told her that, then I have a bone to pick with that attorney. That attorney should have told her, stop the process. He broke up with you, stop the process, shut down the K1 visa process, shut it all down. And then if he changes his mind later and y'all want to reconcile later, he's going to have to pay for it. But the fact that she's going to keep it open for him after he broke up with her, after the way he treated her, after how he used her, that's just not right. Now, I'm not putting all the blame on Igor. Nikki's a handful. Okay. She is a handful. She's not innocent in any of this. They just need to break up and stay broken up. But I feel like Nikki is not done with Igor. Igor is not done with Nikki. When he realizes that he can't pay his bills and he can't, support himself, he's going to come running back to Nikki. He's going to be all apologetic, or she's going to try to reach out to him. She's probably going to send him money. She's probably going to promise buying him a new car or buying something for him to try to bring him back to her. She's going to use her money to try to get him back. And it's going to work because he doesn't work. He doesn't do anything for himself. Nikki talks about how do you just throw away 17 years through a text message? Very easily. He did it. We saw he did it. He did it. He did it. It was done. It's possible. It can be done. And Igor proved to you that you can throw away a 17-year relationship through text. So then her mom says, well, Igor is going to be hearing from me. Mom, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Don't text that man. Leave that man alone. You know that man is not good for your daughter. You know that man is not good for your daughter and she's not good for him. You know this, Mom. Don't try to bring these two toxic people back together again. Please don't do it. Stay out of it, Mom. Moving on to Clayton and Annalie. So the last time that we saw Clayton and Annalie, they left us on a cliffhanger, making us think that maybe Annalie wasn't going to go through with the wedding because she was like over an hour late to her own damn wedding. Everybody's waiting for her. The guests are there. Clayton is at the altar waiting for his bride to walk down the aisle. There's no sign of Annalie. And so they want us to think that she may not walk down that aisle, but we knew that she was. Annalie claims that she talked to her mom and her mom calmed her down. And, now she's convinced that she wants to go through with the wedding. So let me just take a little side note here with Clayton and Annalie. Usually whenever I watch 90 Day Fiance, a lot of people will say, just like in general on social media, a lot of people will say that the foreigner is with the American just for a visa. And I'm not so quick to jump on that bandwagon that anytime that you have an American with a foreigner, the foreigner just wants a visa. Now, a lot of these relationships that we see on 90 Day Fiance are extremely comical. So it's easy for people to think that. But I've always been like wanting to give the couple the benefit of the doubt that they really do want to be together. And it's not just about the visa. Now, it might be just for other things, but it's just not about the visa. But when it came to Clayton and Annalie, I was kind of like jumping on that bandwagon that maybe she's with him and she's going to go through with the wedding only because she wants to get her visa. And the reason why I say that is because out of all the relationships that I've seen on 90 Day Fiance and all the various franchises, Annalie to me has shown the least interest in her partner. She didn't want to sleep with him for whatever reason. She claimed it was because of the mom living in the closet. But we even when they were not at the apartment, when they went on trips and they were somewhere else, she still didn't want to sleep with him. It took a lot for that to finally happen. She just acted like she was always annoyed by him. She acted like she wasn't attracted to him. I saw no chemistry at all between Annalie and Clayton. They were about to get married, but the relationship still seemed very like in the early stages, or that they were still trying to get to know each other or something. It didn't seem like a fully developed relationship where these people were about to get married. So I was like, okay, Maybe her mom convinced her, and we probably, they didn't want to show this, but maybe her mom was telling her, girl, don't throw away 2 years of working on this relationship because you still got to get your visa. You're going to come back to Peru for what? You still need to get your visa. So don't waste all the time and all the work that you put into this relationship because the end goal is to get your visa. Maybe that's what her mom told her. I don't know. But anyways, so she claims that her mom ended up calming her down and she realized that she did want to marry Clayton. And despite the doubts, the fights, the jealousy, she was going to go through with this wedding. So Clayton's father walks her down the aisle. She shows up. I didn't like her dress. I thought her dress was just way too mature for her. It did not do anything for me. So they get married, whatever. The sister to me looked absolutely miserable. Clayton's sister, as she stood there at the altar, she looked absolutely miserable. I think maybe like one time she cracked a smile, a fake smile. She just looked miserable. She looked like she was either miserable or bored. I couldn't quite tell what her facial expression was giving. Whatever the hell it wasn't happiness. So at the reception, she she gave a speech. She gave a speech, and it was basically something that she had Googled. Whatever the hell she read, it was something that she had Googled. It had nothing to do with Clayton and Annalie. It was some generic speech that she found on Google. So Clayton's mom talks about moving out and giving them their own space. Honey, we'll believe it when we see it. Moving on from there. So after a few days of them being married, Annalie decides to gift Clayton, or to give him the gift of telling her dad about their relationship. That's her gift to Clayton. And she's extremely nervous. So she gets on Zoom, Teams, whatever the hell it was. And we're waiting for her dad to join. And I was extremely nervous. My heart was palpitating because they had built up this thing with her father so much. I was like so nervous for everybody. So the father comes on and, she's extremely nervous. She doesn't know exactly how to phrase it or what to say. She did tell Clayton that she was going to tell her father that he was her boyfriend because she was too scared to tell her father they were already married. Okay, fine. So the father comes on and after I don't know how many minutes went by, she finally tells her dad that she has a boyfriend and it's Clayton. And so Clayton comes into frame so the father can see him. And the father was extremely confused. He was like, how is this your boyfriend? Because we haven't heard nothing about this. And then she tells her dad that not only is Clayton her boyfriend, but they're also married. Honey, when she told that man that she was married to Clayton, y'all, I thought he was going to pass out because he looked really troubled. And he was like, how could you be married? Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? He was so confused. And it affected him so much that he had to get up and actually walk away. And then her sister comes on the camera and says, your dad, dad's not doing good at all. I'm gonna have to go check on him. And the sister ends the call. So even though it did not go well at all, Annalie says that she does feel very relieved that she finally told her dad about it. It took, a lot of weight off her shoulders. And, I mean, she's 26 years old. She is 26 years old. And I know there's, the cultures are different all over the world. And sometimes, adult children, y'all, the only thing that I can say if parents want to not be stressed out by their kids is that you only have your children for a very short period of time when they are completely under your control. Once they reach a certain age, you have to let them go, because the more that you try to mold your children into what you want them to be, the more stressed out you're going to be. Sometimes you just have to let your children go, let them find their way, do their thing. As long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else, you just have to sit by the sidelines and just, be there to love them and support them, because the more you try to hang on to adult children to make them do what you want them to do, the more stressed out you're going to be. And who the hell wants to live a life of stress? So I hope her father's doing fine. Somebody please go check on him, make sure that he's doing okay, that we don't have to call emergency services on the man. Moving on to Manuel and Ashley. Y'all, I have never been so mad at somebody as I've been at Ashley. Girl, this is okay, whenever this was recorded, whatever, whatever, if it was 2022, 23, 21, 20, 2019, 2015, 2020, whatever year this was recorded, Ashley, you had access to a weather app. You had access to the weather channel. Okay, quit playing with us. So when we first see Ashley and Manuel is actually, in his little confessional, whatever the hell, he's actually throwing shade to Ashley, talking about, well, if she's such a spiritualist and astrologer, how come she didn't see this weather situation coming? So Ashley, y'all, her friend asks her, did you check the radar to see? And she's like, no, I haven't checked. What? You're so stressed out about the weather, but you haven't even checked the radar to see, how fast this storm is coming, where this storm is located in comparison to where you're going to be getting married. Girl, what? So they look at the radar, and yes, the storm is coming, and it's coming quickly. And then she pulls out her damn tarot cards. Girl, put those damn cards away and go look at the weather channel and quit playing. What are you doing with those damn tarot cards? The storm is coming. There's going to be rain at your wedding. You would have known this because you can predict weather sometimes like a week ahead, a month ahead or something. I'm not understanding, Ashley, how you did not check the weather forecast when you were planning this damn wedding. And if you were going to have an outside wedding, I'm thinking that everybody knows that you're going to have like a backup plan in case the weather, messes up. Oh man, Ashley, she's just not working with the full deck. Okay. So they're on their way to the beach. They're driving to the beach. Her brother-in-law is driving her. In the back seat, we have her sister, we have her mom, and her best friend sitting in the back. She's sitting in the passenger side in her wedding gown. As they're driving towards the location, the weather is getting worse and worse because they're driving to the storm. They're driving towards the storm. So as she sees the clouds darkening and raindrops falling on the windshield, she starts hyperventilating and she goes into her hysterical ugly cry. And I'm like, girl, shut up. Shut the hell up and grow up and act like a damn adult. You knew this was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen because you checked the radar. Okay, you could have prevented all of this if you would have checked the radar before you made these plans, or at least you would have because to me, I've always known Florida to be like coastal Florida. I've always thought was very like a lot of rain all the time in coastal Florida. How do you plan a wedding in Florida and not bother to check the weather, or not bother to have a backup plan? If it does rain, then you can move your wedding inside a building somewhere, or have like tarps or tents or something. Anywho, so they get to the location. It's definitely raining. She's having a beach wedding. Excuse me, y'all. She's having a beach wedding. But to me, her dress was not even beach wedding appropriate. It was a lot of material. It was long. It was dragging on the sand. The sand is already wet, so now it's mud. And your dress is dragging across this dirty sand or this wet sand. Her dress was very cumbersome. It was just a lot. Like when I think of beach weddings, I'm thinking you're going to try to make it as minimal as possible as you could possibly get away with. It could be flowy or whatever, but you don't want a lot of material that you have to carry in your hands as you're walking across the beach. Now, she didn't carry the skirt part in her hands when she walked down the aisle, but it was definitely dragging. She had a long train and it was definitely dragging across the sand. Sophie's dress, because she also had a beach wedding, her dress made more sense, because I don't know why you want to spend a lot of money on a wedding gown just to have it drag across the sand. Like, I don't get it. So she has this very cumbersome dress with a whole bunch of material. She's got her Statue of Liberty crown on her damn head, and she gets to the altar. It's definitely raining. Your guests are soaked. Okay, you're soaked. It was a mess. So they exchange their vows. Now they're married, and now they can probably go somewhere and dry off. Moving on to Sam and Citra. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't know this. I was late to the party. But I heard some rumblings that Citra's sister married Sam's brother. Okay. So Citrus is just that's a little tidbit. Now let's get into the damn segment. So a couple of days after getting married, they finally consummate their marriage, and so we have to suffer through the details of that. They first started, making it do what it do in the bedroom, but he likes to keep his dogs in the bedroom, so the dog started licking both of them while they were in the act or about to get in the act. So then Citrus suggests that they go to the damn laundry room. So they go. Anyways, so it got consummated in the damn laundry room. Then they talk about Sam's looming court case, right? And he tells her he's worried. He says he's very worried about going to jail. It's stressing him out. He's got a lot of anxiety about it. And he asked her, "Are you going to stay with me if I do end up going to jail, even if it's up to if it's up to 2 years?" And Citrus says that she's going to stay with him no matter what. Now at the end of their scene, they showed us like a blurb where it said that he did turn in his diversion paperwork. Now he has to wait 6 weeks to hear from the judge on whether or not he's going to be going to jail. So probably hear all about it at the tell-all. Rob and Sophie. Okay, so they check into their hotel the day before their wedding in San Diego. Sophie says that she still wishes, and Rob as well, because he told us later. Well, they both still wish that they had more time before getting married. Now, Sophie says that the reason why she wanted more time before getting married was because she still wanted to see certain changes in Rob before she walked down the aisle with him. But, they're on a time crunch so that her visa doesn't expire. They don't have the luxury of waiting anymore. So it's the day of the wedding. Unfortunately, Sophie wakes up not feeling very well. She has a sore throat. She wonders if this is a sign, if her body is telling her that she shouldn't be getting married. So the ceremony finally takes place. It was a really nice ceremony. He looked adorable, I thought. He had on a dress shirt, his pants, suspenders, a bow tie. I thought he looked adorable. She had a short wedding gown. Her wedding gown was really cute. It was very simple. It was just above the knees, and she had like a flower crown or a flower veil, I guess you would call it. And she looked like a little beach fairy. She looked really simple, really cute, comfortable. As she walked across the sand, there was no extra material dragging across the sand. It was just a really nice wedding. It was really cute. So they exchanged their vows. They're married. Unfortunately, her mom is still going through it. Her mom still doesn't like Rob, doesn't like the fact that her daughter is marrying Rob. But she can't do anything about it. So, she's happy for her daughter, but she's also not happy that, her daughter chose this man to marry. She's happy that Sophie's happy. And that's as far as that goes. And I think I am done. I talked about everybody. Thank God. This is the end of the regular season. Next week is going to be the tell-all. I'm pretty sure that Nikki and Igor are back together again, because I'm pretty sure that she enticed him with more money, or he came to her asking for money, and she willingly gave it because she wants this man back in her life. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.